There we go. We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Rag-NERD-rok Patreon game. Today we are playing Delta Green. This scenario is called, let me close this thing for the U.S. Department of State. Don't need that right now. This is called Flor de Vie. It is a shotgun scenario that I've modified by Lex. That's it. Just says Lex. So I've modified this one somewhat to change it. So why don't we start by introducing our character, starting with Chris, because he's first on my list.
Oh boy. All right. So I've got Casey Wake, and she is a firefighter. Yeah, she was page 200 and something on the random whatever. Oh, damn it. I can't find it now. All right. What else do we need? She's got a fire axe and no explosives, even though she's very good at demolitions. And her bonds are Steve, the fire chief, Detective Joe from the arson unit, and Lars.
Who's
I'm
Lars?
not. That's it. It's Lars.
Oh, okay.
That's his name.
Is it her boyfriend, her husband?
It's Lars.
Oh, okay. It's
Everyone knows Lars.
Gotcha. All right. Why don't we do Michael next, our newest patron?
Hello, I am Mike, and I will be playing Richard Rockefeller. He is a homeless veteran, and he is deranged.
Wow.
Oh, damn it.
All right, Ryan.
All right. Hey, everybody. I am Ryan, and I'm going to be playing Blake Hodap. Blake is an officer with the U.S. Foreign Service. He is largely a bureaucrat who apparently carries around a keychain pepper spray. His relationships are with his mother, Missy, his wife, Buffy, and his son, Jean.
Missy, Buffy, and Jean. Okay.
I don't know. The name Blake just said white guy to me, so I went
100%.
really hard wasp.
All right, and last and least, Steve.
Hey, I'm playing DeMarco Weedman. I'm a physician out of Rockport, Illinois. My employer, well, I guess I used to be out of Rockport, Illinois. My employer is the CDC out of Atlanta. And my bonds are my wife, Charlotte, who I call Lotta, my grandmother, Lucille, who I call Grandma, and my son, DeMarco the 8th. We skipped the first 7 and just went straight to the 8th.
Okay. So you being from the CDC actually works really well for this game. So you are all agents in, well, you all live in Buffalo, New York now. I'm sorry about that. But you are called through your usual Delta Green channels to a small office complex in the center of town. You are given a room. It's one of those like rent an office space buildings for small companies. They need like an office space. So a conference room has been rented, and you have received your invitation to a night at the opera. And so I need to know, Mike, how do they get in touch with you if they need your services?
I have an Obama phone.
Oh, okay. So you get an email on your Obama phone inviting you to that you've won a night at the opera, and that you have to report to this small little office park to claim your prize.
Oh yeah, well I'll definitely take the bus that way. after I stop at the convenience store.
And what are you picking up at the convenience store?
Booze.
Of course.
$2 Chuck.
Oh fuck yeah! Little wild Irish rose to get the day started. What time of day is it?
It's probably about 10:30.
Yeah, I got to get the day started.
Okay.
Oh, what month is it? I think that's very important for
It is
Buffalo,
June.
New York.
Yes, it is June.
Oh.
Survived another winter.
Yeah, it's
Out
warm
on the
enough.
streets.
Time to celebrate.
Well, it's hard to celebrate when you live in Buffalo.
Oh, no.
All right, so
Yeah,
does anyone else need to make any stops or anything on the way to the office park?
Yeah, I got to pick up my fire truck filled with plastic explosives.
It's in the shop.
All right.
I wonder how it got there.
Just take the backup fire truck filled with dynamite. Gee.
No, I can't do that. But this truck's not going to be good to me this game. I'm going to detonate all the C4.
All right, anyone else?
Well, when Blake gets the email, the invitation, he is shopping for polo shirts.
Oh, it's a good one.
He's trying to decide between a navy blue and a forest green, and he eventually decides to get them both. He gets the email and then heads on over.
Okay. Steve?
I think DeMarco is probably bouncing little DeMarco, the 8th of Weedman, on his knee when the email comes through, and he passes the baby off to his wife and says, "Lotta, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I've got an emergency that only I can handle."
Ryan, what was your character's name again?
Blake.
And Chris?
Casey.
And Mike.
Richard Rockefeller.
Ooh.
But everyone just calls him Big Dick.
They're still somehow homeless.
I think it's ironic.
It is.
Okay. So you arrive at the office park. Richard, you definitely get some looks from people as you make your way to conference room 4, where you know that you're supposed to meet your new handler. When you go in, there's a woman already sitting at the table. She has a laptop hooked up to a projector. She stands and greets you all. She says, "Hello, I'm Agent Smith, and I will be your handler for this operation. Please, everyone, take a seat." So as you all sit down, she closes the door and locks it behind you, and pulls all the blinds in the room closed. So you are secluded. "I'm very sorry to call you all here like this," she says, "but we need agents in the area to look into something. DeMarco, this may be in your wheelhouse. Everyone's here to give you support on this operation."
Great. Let's start off. Dr. Weedman, please.
Oh yes, Dr. Weedman. I'm sorry.
Great. So yeah, run me through it.
Well, yesterday we were advised by a friendly in the Buffalo Police Department about the death of a Gemma Laurel. She is was a 24-year-old woman who lived in town, single, lived alone. Well, you brace yourselves. So she hits a button. She turns the lights off in the room, hits a button on her computer. The projector springs to life, and onto the wall, you see what used to be a woman. Her body seems to be covered in tumors and boils. Her limbs have extended to like twice their length with almost tentacle-like protrusions. You see that bones have burst forth from her skin in spiny growths. She looks like she's sitting in a chair. Her face is frozen in a rictus of horror and pain. So let's start with everyone making a sand check.
Fantastic.
51. What is my sanity? 50. So no.
Oh, that is a definite no. 90 out of 50.
I critically succeeded, if that's a thing for sanity.
Yeah, kind of.
Richard's seen worse on the streets.
Yeah, Richard's not worried about this. Oh, this again?
All right. If you failed, oh God, that's 5.
Nice. Going crazy this game.
So, fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah. I would think freeze would be appropriate.
What about flight? Just want to get up and run out the door, screaming.
No.
What if we want to fight Agent Smith?
Steve, how'd you do?
I roll 2, so I get up and get closer to it, and I say, "This is fascinating. This is the most advanced case of vestibular papillomatosis I've ever seen." And these osteophytes. Yeah, I succeeded.
All right, you still take 1.
Okay.
Her apartment was investigated. Among the things that we found was a vial of honey from the Buffalo Creek Honey Company. When it was tested, it contained biological components that are not of terrestrial origin.
Space honey.
It's possible. We need you to investigate this company and find out what's going on.
That's quite interesting. Have you considered burning it down?
No shit.
Well, it is definitely a possibility, but we need to know the source.
Arson is never the answer.
It could be that it is just part of a larger operation.
Well, before we resort to that, perhaps we should, as Agent Smith suggested, figure out where they're getting their honey from, and that's profoundly disturbing. Profoundly disturbing.
She turns off the slide, so you're not staring at it anymore.
I sincerely appreciate that.
Yes, it is difficult to look at.
But not as difficult as this one. Next slide.
Any questions?
Yeah, is there like an operations budget or any equipment we're gonna need? Do we need like biohazard suits?
It's possible. We don't know what the situation is. That's why we need you to investigate. If you think that you're going to need biohazard suits, let us know. She slides you all burner phones.
What about like a flamethrower?
What about what?
A flamethrower.
Fire is never the answer.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, Mr. Rockefeller.
Do we have
Big Dick.
Okay. Do we have a testing kit for this compound?
Yes. She hands you a plastic case, and you open it up, and there's some chemicals and tubes inside that will allow you to test. They don't know what it is, but this thing will detect extraterrestrial compounds.
As I take it, I grab her hand and I look in her eye and I say, "You are right to call me." And then I turn and go.
Okay.
As I'm going, I look at the other 4 and I say, or the other 3, and I say, "First, we need to get this man a bath, and then we should head off."
It's probably a good plan. For expedience sake, there's a shower in the complex that you can use.
What, in the offices? That's super convenient.
Yeah. Well, some people bike here.
What a progressive company or whatever.
Yeah.
I reluctantly let Richard wear the khaki slacks and polo that I just purchased.
I don't know. Richard's pretty big. I don't know if they're gonna fit on him.
they just look tiny on him. It's a stretched out polo.
I think he's pretty good in his beat up fatigues. He's just got some desert fatigues.
Yeah, that'll work.
He just looks like a jerk. which turns out is what he is. So it'll be fine.
I brew him some coffee while he's showering.
Yeah.
Here, drink this.
Yeah, he'll take it. You see him like sort of pour something in it when you're not looking, though. Thanks, man. I needed a little bit of Joe.
Do you mind just holding still for one moment? And I get out my flashlight and start doing like the eye check thing. How drunk is he?
Richard, how much of that 40 did you drink on the way here?
I mean, it wasn't a 40. It was a little flask of that disgusting wine stuff.
Okay.
That's not enough to get. It's not enough to get Richard drunk.
He's
got buzz.
Yeah.
He's just riding the night train.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
You probably shouldn't let him drive, but he's all right.
I
All
put
right.
my hand.
Okay.
I put my hand on Dr. Weedman's shoulder and I say, Dr. Weedman, how deeply do you really want to look into this?
I think we're good. Let's head out.
Okay. So you have the address of the Buffalo Creek Honey Company. Are you going to make any stops along the way, or are you just heading over there?
My first thought, I don't have any SIGINT. I have 60 in bureaucracy though. Can I check with like the local Better Business Bureau to see if there's been any complaints filed against this company?
Sure. So with the 60 in bureaucracy, no, nothing from the Better Business Bureau.
No customers being transformed into horrible abominations and
No, it hasn't come up. I
Oh.
mean, there's no clickable thing on the drop down menu on the Better Business Bureau website for that, but you don't see any complaints.
All right.
Do they have any kind of like chemical breakdown of this compound?
Delta Green?
Yeah, that they've given us.
No, they're still working to identify it. They're just able to tell that it's bad, but they don't have like a complete chemical breakdown.
Nothing that would tell me if it could possibly be airborne or if it has to be ingested or anything like that.
You don't know.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So are we
What's
provided with a vehicle, or does somebody have a car that's going to haul us all?
I'm sure one of you has a car.
We'll use my fire truck.
Chris, if you want a car that badly, you can have a Chiefs SUV.
Ooh. Does it have sirens?
It does?
Then I want it.
All right.
Chris, your character's named Casey.
Yes.
Does Casey have what was I just going to ask? It just like
Does
fled
Casey
my
have
mind.
drive? Is that the question you were going to ask?
No.
Well,
But
yeah.
does Casey have drive?
Yes. 50.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Any stops? Anyone else want to do any research?
I guess can I look up the company online, see if they have any kind of like web presence?
Yeah, no, you do. That's easy enough. Yes, you find the Buffalo Creek Honey website. It's very, I hate to say this, it's very flowery, but it's they tout being a totally organic, locally sourced honey company. All their bees get their honey or get their pollen that they use to make honey from local flowers in Buffalo, and they're very locally sourced and oriented along that. Like one of those companies.
This is a local apiary for local people.
Exactly.
I'm kind of disappointed you didn't make it the ostrich honey company.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to give Antonio Ravioli any more screen time.
If it's a locally sourced organic honey company, is it a label that Ryan's character is familiar with from like, the rich people store?
You've maybe seen it in Whole Foods. It's possible.
Do they have, by any chance, like an arranged tour or?
Not that you see on the website.
Okay.
Do any of us have decent persuade?
Let me see. Mine's at 50.
All right, then I guess Ryan is is an investor, and I'm his science guy.
Science guy.
And Casey is his
Safety
mechanics
officer.
guy to know what their operation, if their operation is mechanically well founded, and then
Richard's their homeless guy.
Yeah.
He's the taste tester.
maybe he's the silent hipster partner. He could totally be a hipster dressed up like that.
Good.
Yeah,
Are
rich.
firemen
rich.
just allowed to inspect buildings? Isn't that a thing?
I don't think it would in New York.
I mean, there's limits, but
Fire walk up and be like, "I want to inspect your building." There are inspectors.
yeah,
They
you're
would
right.
be in the fire
Health
department.
inspectors.
I mean, there's
Should be
also
health
this
inspectors.
thing. There's also this thing called lying that we could do.
We could be health inspectors. They can just show up and demand to see that everything's clean and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, you also have a CDC ID, Steve. So you could.
Yeah, I don't know that we want to drop the CDC thing right away.
Well,
Yeah, that's really tipping the hand.
Yeah. So it's up to you guys how you want to approach it.
What is this building? Do we
Well, wait, as a fireman, couldn't I be going there to inspect it to see if it's the fire alarms are in, a fire safety inspection?
Firefighters wouldn't do that. That would be
Fire marshal?
Yeah, that'll be a fire marshal.
What kind
All
of
right,
building?
so
is
we go and we set a fire.
it? Yeah, right.
No, fire's never the answer.
Okay, so the building, you could Google it. It looks basically, it's a decently sized property, maybe like 3 acres out on the outskirts of the suburbs of Buffalo. There's a house and another building that looks like a large garage or shed.
So it's a farm.
It's kind of but there's no farming stuff. You see in a satellite picture, you see lots of boxes in the property, which you would assume are the apiaries. And that's really all that you get. There are lots of flowers planted, which makes sense.
Wait, I got it. Beekeepers use smoke to calm the bees down.
Mm-hmm.
We can say that someone called in a report of a bunch of smoke coming from this area, and we know it's probably just somebody seeing things, but we need to do the inspection anyway, just to be sure. I don't know.
It's a farm.
Kinda
We'll
thin.
just sneak onto it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we could do that.
you don't see any security systems. It looks like there's maybe one of those farmhouse, like the posts that have just 2 really big slats in between around the edge, which is you can just climb over. It doesn't seem like there's any big security systems that you can see from a satellite picture.
Wait, so you want me to climb this?
I'm just
Could
starting there. You do what you want.
Couldn't we just go to the front door?
Yes.
No, I'm talking,
talking
in
in
character.
We could. I'm perfectly willing to go the potential investor route, or we could have we could have Casey here pose as a fire marshal doing an inspection.
I mean, do fire marshals have the same badge as you guys?
I don't believe so.
Firefighters don't have badges.
So then no.
That's a big no.
I don't know if a fire marshal would have a badge. They would definitely have ID that would identify.
I think a fire marshal has a badge.
They've got a lanyard with all their city ID on it.
Yeah.
Let's just drive there and see if we can just drive right in, and then we'll, figure it out on the way.
All right. So Casey's driving. It's about a half-hour drive, and you get to the Buffalo Creek Honey Company. As you're driving down the road, there's a sign on the road by the driveway that says Buffalo Creek Honey. Do you just drive up the driveway?
Yeah, there's no ringing button or anything, right?
Nope.
What do you guys think? Should I turn on my light, and then we could say that someone reported the smoke like earlier, or do we just kind of go up and?
Let's try the investor thing. And then if things go downhill, we'll go the CDC thing.
Okay.
All right.
So you're an investor that rides around in a fireman's SUV?
I mean, it's just a black Suburban or whatever.
Yeah.
Chris wanted a fire department SUV.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very plain. It's like a white Ford SUV that says Buffalo Fire Chief on the side with lights on top.
All right, I think there's a fire.
I mean, it could just be my lunch break.
I mean, we could also drop Richard's name and obviously he's an eccentric billionaire.
How far is the driveway? How long is it?
It's about it's a few hundred feet. There's trees along the road, and it runs in, and you could kind of see the main house down the end of the driveway.
Can I just, since we're right here, can I make a search check and see if I see anything unusual from here?
That would be more of an alertness check.
Alertness? I can do that too.
But what's your alertness at?
780.
Oh, okay. So the way Delta Green works is that for stuff like this, you don't actually have to roll. You only roll when there's a chance that you could fail. So, like, if you're just sitting in the car looking around, you have time to just look around. If you're trying to spot something while you're being shot at, then you have to roll because, like, you only have a second to duck your head out. So with an 80 in alertness, you roll down the window, you stick your head out, you look around. You don't see anything weird. So, like I said, there's trees lining the road with a wooden sign by the driveway that says Buffalo Creek Honey. And you could see down the driveway, you see the main house in the distance. You can see a van parked outside. And it looks like another car, a smaller one, probably a Prius. That's all you could see from the road. But you don't see any like cameras or anything like that.
Well, let's drive in and get killed by bees, guys.
Yeah. I'm all for it.
Okay. So you pull down the driveway. Like I said, it's a few hundred feet. So as you get to the end of the driveway, you could see the house. It's a decently sized one-story house. There's a Prius parked in front of it. The van that you saw, as you pull up, you can see the side. It says Buffalo Creek Honey on the side with the phone number for the business and their websites. And then you could see that large garage area a few hundred feet away from the house. And it looks like there's a large double doors that would be big enough to pull a car into. And you could see two people inside the garage, two women working in there. You can't exactly make out what they're doing.
Okay. Eccentric I point to Richard, eccentric millionaire. Point to Hodap and say negotiator. I point to Wake and I say fireman who was assigned by the city because they're hoping that eccentric millionaire will bring huge corporate headquarters here. So they're just doing whatever he asks, and he wants to go visit this honey farm.
Okay.
Does that work?
Works for me.
And you?
Scientist.
Okay. Yeah. So as you get out of the car, you hear that there's music coming from the garage. so they didn't hear you drive up. So you're just going to walk over and introduce yourselves?
Sure.
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them. I'm not going to wander off. So.
All right.
We'll let our negotiator speak.
All right. So I will go up to the garage, and if they don't notice me, I'll like knock politely.
Okay. You knock. One of them like jumps a little and turns around. Oh, excuse me. You startled me.
So sorry to barge in.
No. So you see two older middle-aged women. They've both got their hair like up in bandanas. One of them seems to be wearing overalls and like a long sleeve shirt, which is a bit hot for the current weather. The other one is in just shorts and a t-shirt. You can see they have a whole bunch of wooden tables like lining the sides of this room. There's a bunch of jars laid out on one of them. There's big squares of stuff you don't know what they are. It smells fantastic in here. It smells like honey. You could smell it. And on like the far side, you assume that this is probably like their assembly line, quote unquote, because like to your left there's these squares, and then in front of you they have like a whole bunch of jars that are being filled and looks like colanders or sieves of some kind. There's burners where they're doing something, and on the right hand side along the wall you see jars of honey of various sizes and beeswax too.
Is there any jars of similar size and shape to the one that was in the photo?
Oh yeah, dozens.
So the same jar or similar?
The same jar.
Okay.
They're all just simple, like it's like a 1 pound jar. It has their like sticker on it, Buffalo Creek honey.
So I say, I'm terribly sorry to barge in on you like this. Let me introduce myself. My name is Blake McCandless, and I represent Mr. Richard Rockefeller over here. Mr. Rockefeller, well, he's without giving too much away, I'd have to have you sign an NDA if I spilled too much, but. He is a silent investor in the Shelter app, and he's looking to expand his. He's looking to possibly expand his business investments in the area, and well, needless to say, he sampled your honey and. He had to come right over here. He was just floored by it.
All right, make that persuade roll.
Let's see. $20 out of 50.
Okay. The woman in shorts. She looks at the other woman. And goes, "Oh, of course. Well, how can we help?"
Well, I know it's a bit of an imposition, but we were hoping to arrange a tour. If you could show us the property, show us your operation. Maybe perhaps allow Mr. Rockefeller to sample some of your fine wares. We can arrange for, I think, a pretty sizable contribution.
Oh, of course. The woman walks over to you. She holds out her hand to you. My name is Deborah. She shakes your hand and she gestures. This is my wife Maisie. We're co-owners of Buffalo Creek Honey. And she shakes Mr. Rockefeller's hand. I'm pleased to meet you. Of course. We just harvested some, but if you want, I could take you out and show you the apiaries.
Yeah, let's take a look at everything before we start eating. I just had breakfast.
Oh, of course, sure. Well, right this way. She leads you out of the shed. I keep wanting to call it the shed. It's really a garage. She leads you out of the garage. and across onto their grass. She's gesturing around. So we plant dozens of species of wildflowers here, so that the bees have all sorts of pollen that they graze on, so to speak. We have we right now have 10 hives, which gives us lots of honey, and we're always looking to expand. Every year we add a few more as the colonies grow. And so she leads you over. Well, I can't. I'm not dressed for it, right? Honey, could you come here? And Maisie comes out. So she is, like I said, she's wearing overalls and a long sleeve shirt. She pulls on work gloves and puts on one of those beekeeper hats. And she walks over with the little smoker, and she takes the lid off one of the hives, and you hear the buzzing instantly of the bee buzzing around. And she goes, yeah, so this is where we get all our honey. And she pulls out one of the squares that you saw, and now they're covered in bees. And so she uses the smoker on them to calm them down. And she takes a little brush and literally just like brushes the bees off of it. He said, well, this one's not quite ready yet, but this is the honeycomb where the bees make the honey. And you know, they make more than they need, so we take the extra, and that's what we sell. And yeah, and so she gestures. You can see they have a bunch of other of these boxes. So the hives are literally boxes. They're wooden boxes that are like 1.5 by 1.5 square, and maybe like 10 inches tall. And they just stack them until they're about 4 feet high. And each one of them contains about 10 slats of honeycomb that they can take out and make honey. Which is, each hive can produce a few dozen pounds of honey. Each one. Maisie holds up one of the slats. She says each one of these can hold about 5 pounds of honey and beeswax. And we separate them because most people don't like wax in their honey. And when they're done, we get lots of honey out of this, and there's a few local stores in town that we sell it to. We also go around to farmers markets and things like that.
Well, it sounds like you guys need a distribution network.
Oh, I mean, if we could expand and get our honey into more areas, that would be fantastic. Of course, we are committed to quality and locally sourcing, so we would have to get more hives and more bees. But our bees now, they pollinate all of our flowers and neighboring properties in the area. They fly all over and gather honey from all over, not honey, pollen from all over the area and bring it back here to make honey.
Oh,
Are there any bees buzzing around nearby?
Oh yeah,
I assume so. Can I bend down and take a look at one, see if it looks normal?
Yeah,
Biology.
What's your biology at?
60.
60. Okay. So one of them lands on your arm. Just make it easy. This one looks normal. I mean, you're a human doctor, not a bee doctor. But it doesn't look wrong in any way to you.
And what varieties of flowers did you say you seed the property with?
Oh, we have dozens of varieties of wildflowers. We found that those have the most interesting pollen. We also have a bed of tulips. We tried roses, but they're a little finicky, and it doesn't quite work for the bees. And so she starts leading around. It's just riots of color with all these flowers blooming because it's the middle of June. There's bees buzzing around everywhere on all these flowers, flying to all these different boxes. So she starts listing off all these varieties of flowers. I'm not going to list them all, but there's lots of different flowers.
All right.
Someone could make. Actually, no. Mike, you said your alertness is 80.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, I'm assuming you're looking around while you're walking.
Always.
Yeah. So you'd see that there's one of the hives far away. It's like in a back. There's not really a corner because it's outside, but it seems to be the furthest away from you. that doesn't have the same activity as everything else. So you can see like all the other hives have bees buzzing around and going from flowers. That one far away doesn't seem to have as much activity as all the others.
And how many tentacles does it have?
Yeah, right.
I'm
gonna tentacles.
Oh, only 7.
I'm gonna point it out to the lady, and I'll be like, "Is that one new or quarantined or something?"
She looks. Oh, we've been having trouble with that hive. I'm sorry that you noticed that one, but it's not indicative of the quality of everything else that we put out, I can assure you. But it seems the bees in there may have been pollinating from, I don't know from what, but we haven't been able to use any of that honey, and frankly, I think we're going to have to scrap that whole hive.
That's quite interesting. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
No, I assure you, it's nothing that you need to worry about.
No, I know quite a bit about bees. I'd be interested in seeing this. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Coke, Ed Coke. I shake their head.
She shakes her head. They look at the two of them, look at each other. Oh, okay. And they go over.
I know quite a bit about animals. I'm something of a scientist. You may have read some of my papers. I don't know how much research you did before starting up your farm.
Oh, no,
but
I haven't heard. Where can I find them? I'd be very interested to read them.
All over Nature magazine. They're I've been published in Apiary Monthly, a few others. Let's go take a look though.
What's your persuade?
40.
I'll make a persuade check.
You're a freaking diplomat, and it's a 40?
No, I'm
not
the diplomat.
Oh, yeah, you're the
doctor.
I put the slash on the wrong end. Sorry, computer issues. I got a 53.
She looks at you. It's, okay. Yeah, I'll look into those. Sure, over this way, and they lead you over to the hive. So as you get over, the buzzing from the other ones fades into the distance a little bit, and the buzzing you hear buzzing, it sounds different somehow. It's a little lower in tone, like a little deeper, and you don't really see any bees buzzing around the outside of the hive.
Are any coming and going from the hive?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
So you said you thought maybe these bees got into something nearby? What sort of things are nearby that could have caused something like this?
Well, I don't know.
They do seem quite lethargic. It'd be interesting to see have one of their combs pulled out. I look expectantly at Owen wearing the bee suit.
Sure. So the woman Maisie, she takes the lid off the top box of the hive and sets it on the ground.
I take a few steps back from everybody else.
She takes out the smoker and squirts it with the smoke, and the buzzing doesn't seem to change. And she lifts out one of the combs, and so when she pulled out the other ones, there's even when they're full, they're covered in bees, which is normal. And you know honeybees are like you've seen thousands of them now. They're like little half-inch long bugs. So when she pulls this one out, the bees are wrong. The comb, instead of being like a light golden brown kind of color, it's darker brown verging on black. The bees are bloated. That's the best way you could describe them. They seem to be about 2 inches long.
Wait, loaded like drunk?
No, bloated.
Oh, bloated. Okay.
They're about 2 inches long now, fat and misshapen, but their wings don't really seem to have changed size. And so the buzzing is them trying to fly, but not being able to for the most parts. As she lifts them out, some of them just sort of fall off and land on the other hives and manage to crawl back onto their legs, which seem to be longer and distended. And she pulls it out and then screams and drops it. And Deborah goes, "Oh my God! What happened?" So you guys can make sand checks.
Maybe. I failed that one.
Let's see.
I'm good.
I also passed.
I'm doing real well on these sand checks. 96 out of 45.
All right. So just,
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrong. I passed that.
none of you passed. One of you fail. You could see though that the bees are large and just disgusting. And as Maisie drops the comb, it lands on top of the others, and the honey like slops off and just splatters with this wet sound onto the ground. And one of the bees manages to actually fly up and heads towards Deborah, who doesn't have like full covers. And she starts trying to swat it. Get it away! So what would you like to do?
You know what I have to ask, right?
What?
What does the honey taste like?
Oh, no.
Are you going to taste the honey?
I'm very, very tempted to, but didn't that last person we saw that had some get turned inside out or something?
Something along those lines.
We don't know if it was this tainted honey that did that.
Yeah, I mean, we should test it just to make sure. So I encourage you to feel free.
No, wait, what's my character's intelligence? No, she's too smart for that.
Can I just like swat that bee away from that lady?
Sure. Yeah. What's your unarmed combat?
It is 80.
80. Yeah. Okay. So you just swat this thing out of the air, and it lands on the ground and twitches, and then stops moving. It felt when you hit it, it felt juicy or squishy, like it was plump to the point of bursting.
All right. I'll just wipe my hands off on that lady's sleeve.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Oh, thank you. Oh God, I think we need to destroy this hive.
I'm going to reach into my medical bag and snap on some latex gloves, and then hand, I guess, Wake the testing kit and tell him to go take a sample of honey, and then I'm going to go look at the woman who got stung.
She didn't get stung.
Oh, she didn't get stung? Okay. I thought she dropped it because she got stung.
She was about to, and then Richard knocked it out of, not killed the bee.
Oh, no, I thought the one in the beekeeping suit, isn't that the reason she dropped it?
She just got freaked out.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Sorry.
And I will go and collect a sample, being very careful, searching very carefully to make sure that there are no bees around from where I'm collecting the honey from.
It's not so much a search thing. Make a POW times 5 check.
Okay. Uh, 36 out of 85.
Okay. So once she dropped that honeycomb, the hive started to get more active, and now you see some of these fat, bloated bees are actually like flying around and buzzing. And you think angrily? You're not really sure, but you're a little worried. But you manage to get close and like reach out and just scoop up some of the honey and jump back, and you don't get stung. So
pick up that dead one over there too.
Yes, you run the honey through the testing kit, and it comes back positive.
Okay. Has any of this, before you realized there was something wrong with these bees, did any of this honey get into the jars that went out?
They look at each other. I think we took one comb. about 2 weeks ago and mixed it in with the other batches like we always do.
And how many jars would you say that would have gotten into?
With the batch we did then, maybe 50.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah. And your inventory. Can you track those jars?
Not exactly. We we know where we sent the last shipments to, but there's no way of knowing which jars this honey went into.
Aha.
Okay, well, we're going to need your shipment details and also Richard, maybe we are Wake, Richard, maybe we should burn this hive down.
Fire is never the answer.
Fire is sometimes the answer.
They say no. We definitely need to burn this hive.
Who says that? The bee lady?
I'm just worried that Deborah says that. I'm just worried that the other bees might start pollinating it, whatever these bees were.
Yeah, what is there a way to tell which direction that was in?
Where they've been grazing?
Yeah.
It's
Where
hard.
was this hive originally located?
Here.
It's always been here?
Yeah, these bees, from what we've noticed, tend to go east. But that's all I can say. I mean, we don't.
What's east of here?
So if we pull up Google Maps on our phone, what's directly east of here?
Homes.
Crap.
Can I hummint these ladies? Are they telling the truth?
What's your hummint at?
50.
50? Yeah, they seem to be telling the truth.
Okay, so they're not like.
It doesn't seem like they're doing this on purpose. They seem genuinely freaked out.
Okay.
At the hive. And they, as far as you can tell, they're telling the truth about. I mean, they can't track individual bees.
Yeah. There's
it would be great to help their third partner who's had their brain removed and inserted into a tube.
Oh,
he can talk though.
Yeah, well, that's their silent partner.
Well, it depends on if the speaker's hooked up or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to issue a recall on all of this honey for a salmonella outbreak.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to look at these ladies really quick. You guys sent out an entire batch and you didn't even try it?
I mean, after a while, I mean, we love honey, but after a while, we don't try every batch. I mean, we give them all a visual inspection, and it looked fine.
I don't know about the quality control around here.
Oh, no, it's trust me, it's fine, but I mean, I understand why you might think that.
I hold a specimen jar out to the other three in the group and say, which one of you wants to try to catch a live one?
Blake puts his finger on the tip of his nose.
Yep, I do too.
Oh,
there's a dead one right there. Just take that one.
No, I think we need a live one.
Well, you said they couldn't fly, right?
No, they can.
They're very slow.
And what would we roll to catch it?
You know, maybe the beekeepers should do it. They're experts.
Yeah, the person in the beekeeping outfit might be a good choice for this.
You can ask. If you want to try, it would probably just be a Dex ×5 check.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk.
Huh. I'd have a 60% chance of failing that. Yeah, let's ask the beekeepers first.
Failing? Your Dex ×5? Your Dex is 8?
Yeah.
Oh.
I hold it out to the woman in the beekeeper mask, and I say, "Fill this with bees."
Okay. She takes it. Let's see.
I mean, not full.
Oh.
One or two would be fine.
No. She does not. I rolled a 94 for her. She walks over and tries to get one of these fat bees in it, but she just can't seem to catch one.
All right, I guess I'll give it a try.
All right, Dex times 5.
I got a 2 out of 50.
Okay. Also make a luck check, just high or low, or odds or evens, however you want to do it.
I'll go high. I rolled a 55.
Okay, good for you. You don't get stung.
Hooray!
So the jar, it's just like a small jar with a screw lid. So you manage to slam it down on one of the bees and screw it closed. So you've got this fat, ugly black bee. Even the color's wrong on it. Just sort of squirming around inside the jar.
Right.
It starts like hitting the glass with its stinger ineffectively, but it also just seems very aggressive.
I think we've seen about all we need to see here. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
I would recommend you initiate a recall however you can. Get in touch with your whoever retails your product and tell them to ditch whatever batches you've sold to them. And
we'll do that. We'll do that right away.
Oh, I've already taken care of that.
Okay.
What's your bureaucracy at?
50. Roll it.
Make a bureaucracy roll.
29.
What?
29 out of 50.
29. Okay.
29.
So you call the CDC, and I'll just say, like, you took pictures of the fucked up honey in the hive and the bees, and sent
Oh no, not the bees. I'm not taking pictures of the bees. This is a salmonella outbreak. I take a picture of the fucked up honey, maybe, and I say, "This is going to be the next romaine. We gotta put a lid on this as quickly as we can."
Okay. So the CDC is going to issue a recall on their honey. It's probably going to destroy their company, but well, it is what it is.
I look at the ladies and I say, "You may want to rebrand," and then I start walking east.
You're just walking?
No, I guess he's got an SUV. Can we four wheel it
across like the property?
I don't know.
Well, how big is their property?
Theirs is 3 acres.
Okay, so it's not huge, and there's really no way that they can confine the bees to their property. So they may be.
No, the bees definitely
by
go
woods?
to other properties.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get in the SUV and take it to a road that would be in the direction of east.
Okay. Can I do some research and try to figure out like what the foraging range is for a bee? Like, are we looking in like a mile radius or a 5-mile radius? Like, how far do they usually range?
Sure. That's a good throw. All right. So through a quick Google search, you find out that as a rule of thumb, the foraging area for a beehive extends for 2 miles.
Okay.
Oh. Although bees have been observed foraging twice and 3 times this distance from the hive.
Okay, so we can always start in a 2-mile radius, and if we find nothing, expand from there.
Well, let's start in a. They say that these bees tended to forage eastward, so let's start in a 2-mile cone in that direction. Let's see what we find.
All right. So I guess we're driving around.
All right. So you start driving and you head east, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
After about a mile, you get to a more residential area, but it's still suburby. So all the properties have yards, decently sized yards too. So what are you looking for?
I take out the bee and I hold it up to the window and I see if it looks like it recognizes anything.
Well, it's in a glass container, so it doesn't do anything.
Tell us your secrets, B.
I poke an air hole in the container with my pocket knife.
Just make a roll on a D100. Tell me what you got.
48.
48. No, the bee just looks angry.
I guess I'm looking for any kind of like bizarre looking plant life, something that it might have picked up some kind of alien DNA from. I don't know.
All right, so everyone make alertness check. Oh, or search. Alertness or search.
I am good at neither of those things.
Alertness, it is. I passed alertness with a 38 out of 50.
Holy shit! I got a 4 out of 20.
Yeah, I passed as well.
I failed.
Good looking
All right,
bee.
so
I'm looking too closely at the bee.
yeah, DeMarco.
I think it's looking westward.
So as the rest of you are driving, DeMarco is staring at the bee, trying to make it work. The rest of you
definitely has a southwardly.
The rest of you notice a house as you're driving down the street, which the lawn looks a little overgrown. It just kind of stands out to you a little bit.
And it appears to have scales.
It's not a house. It's a shoggoth. But it seems like a normal house, but it's a little overgrown and dirty. It looks like it's a little not unmaintained. But it stands out to you a little bit.
Guys, I think we're in the completely wrong area. This bee is not, it's not responding. It's never been here before. I'm almost 100% certain.
Well, what about that house over there with all the strange growth in the yard?
I mean, just because the guy's lazy doesn't mean he's an alien.
Well, still, it's the one weird thing we've seen so far. Maybe we should check it out.
What if we go pull up a clump of the grass and test it to see if it's got the same chemical or whatever as the honey?
So is this grass? There's no flowers?
From the street, all you see is grass.
I will say I am not a very good sneaky guy, but if somebody is a good sneaky guy and wants to go, or girl,
who's sneaking? Just walk up and take some grass, and I'll drive away. Who cares if they see us?
Well, we may not be sampling the right thing. We may have to,
come back.
I mean, we got a firefighter truck. We can say we're testing for I don't know, pollutants.
Sure.
If somebody comes out,
we're checking for fires.
No fire here.
Just pull over. Let's check it out.
Yeah, if they catch us, I'll just turn on my sirens and say, "Sorry, emergency," and we'll drive away.
Sounds great.
All right, I'll pull over.
Okay. Yeah, you pull over from the house.
Get
all
out.
right, guys. I really think this is a fool's errand, but I snap on my latex gloves and I will go out and collect a bit of grass and run it through the test.
Is this? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Now that we're closer, is there anything a little more?
You not from the front, but you can't see there's a fence, so you can't see the sides or the back of the house.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, is this on the corner of the block? Is it in the middle, or?
No, it's in the middle.
Okay.
I finish up the test and I say it's just grass. I mean, bees don't eat grass anyway. There'd have to be a flower.
Well, if something was corrupting all the plants at this house,
I mean, does it look like alien grass to you? It looks like grass to me.
I've never seen alien grass before. Maybe that's what it looks like.
They just don't own a lawnmower.
Are there, are there any trees or anything we can see from where we are, from their backyard?
They don't own a lawnmower, and the federal government is now going to break down their door and search their place. This is.
Well, just
I look at the bee again. The bee is clearly
lawnmower.
not interested.
Are there any what's nearby?
Like trees that you can see from their backyard or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. They have a tree in their backyard.
Does it look healthy?
As far as you can tell, do you have any biology?
No, but I could tell if it was like oozing.
I mean,
purple
it doesn't look like, it's not like black and falling apart. It looks like a tree.
Okay. You know, I mean, we're already in the front yard. I'm just gonna walk over and peek over the fence. Just settle this.
Okay. So you peek over the fence, and in the backyard you see an area. So this tall grass continues around the side of the house till it gets to about the corner of the building, the house, and then the grass kind of stops and is replaced by some sort of
patio.
some sort of creeping vine along the ground, which definitely seems to be coming from the backyard.
Yeah,
and is sort of snaking around the side.
How
Found
does
it.
it taste?
Do you come over and tell us?
Yeah, I wave you guys over to me. I found it.
Found what? I walk over there. It's a grapevine or ivy. What?
It doesn't look like ivy. It's a little too thick and crawling along the ground.
Is there a
Is
gate
it
near
brown, purple? Like, what's the color of the coloration of the vine?
It's a very deep green, maybe, or black.
And when you say crawling along the ground, you mean
Not
like
like
a
literal,
normal
but like-
vine crawling along the ground, not physically moving right now.
No, not physically moving right now.
So
Damn, that would have been a dead giveaway.
I'm just gonna open the back gate and start walking to the backyard.
Okay. You walk into the backyard, and as you come around the corner, you see that these vines have overgrown everything that was back here. The grass is gone and choked away. It looks like there may have been a picnic table back here, which is just covered in these vines. They're thick, and the first word that comes to your mind is meaty. And every few feet along the vine, these bulbs sprout. They look like the size of a big onion, and then sort of blossom open at the top with this sickeningly purple flower. And as you're standing there with your alertness, you see one of those big, fat, disgusting bees land at one of the flowers and seems to, get the pollen and eat and then fly away.
Does he look like he's really into it?
I mean, I as much as a bee can be.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Oh, okay. So maybe we found the one-time fire is the answer.
So it's just a vine everywhere. There's no like.
But it also traces back, and you can see it seems to be coming out of an open window to the basement of the house, like one of those small half windows that opens to the basement.
Oh, dear
it's
God.
open, and you see the vines have that's where they're coming from.
All right. Well, mystery solved. Blow it up.
Okay. I think the bee was wrong. I can see that now. Should we knock? I mean,
Oh, you're going in there.
do you think they're aware that there's a giant vine
hard to
growing
miss.
out of their basement?
If they're alive.
Yeah, look at their yard. They've been dead for at least 2 weeks.
So yeah, I'll go to the front door and ring the bell. See if anybody comes to answer.
All right.
Before he does that, I'm going to retrieve my axe from my...
All right, you get your axe. You ring the bell, and there's no answer. But there's no car in front of the house either.
Okay.
Is the door unlocked?
It is not. It is locked.
Good thing I've got this axe.
Well, if you want to try a subtle method, it would be criminology to pick the lock before you fire axe the door.
Wait. I feel like this would be one of those situations where there should be a gas leak.
Or a key under the mat. What about that?
Make a luck check.
Luck.
So it's just high or low. You can call high or low and then roll.
Okay. I'm going to go with high. 14. No.
No, you lift up the map and no key.
Anybody particularly good at breaking and entering?
I mean, I'd kick in the back door.
Yeah, I'd say go for the back. Yeah, that's the best way. So there's a high fence.
Yeah, so you can go around to the back door. It would be criminology to pick the lock, or if you just want to kick it, just unarmed combat.
All right. Oh, I'll just do that.
Is there a way to get to the back door without walking next to the plant?
Nope, you'd have to walk through the vines. The entire backyard is just covered in these vines.
Maybe we should just break the front door open.
I'll meet you at the front door. You just come through and open it up.
Yeah. Are the vines thorny at all, or?
Not that you can tell.
All right. I get like it. Is there like a stick or a tree branch around?
There's
yeah.
an axe.
All right, I'm gonna poke at the vines with the stick.
Gentlemen,
all right, you poke the vine,
lady.
Nothing seems to happen, but it's definitely squishier than a vine should be.
All right.
I think we should suit up before we go into this house. The pollen, who knows what could happen? You know, we could
Fair
be
enough.
breathing in whatever it is that did that to that person.
All right. Can I borrow the keys to your SUV, Casey?
Sure. I mean, it's right there. I didn't lock it.
All right. I'm going to go to Home Depot and get some like heavy gardening gloves and respirators and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, no. They gave us the phone and said we could call for the suits if we needed them.
Oh, do we? Like, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot about that.
Yeah, why don't we just do that?
Yeah, in that case, I'll call Smith and tell her that we've located the source, we think, but we're gonna need some like hazmat suits for protection.
Okay.
And some plastic explosives.
She is not going to give you plastic explosives, but she gives you the address of a self-storage unit. And gives you the unit and the combination to get into it, and says that there will be hazmat suits in there in a half hour.
Okay.
While they're on the phone, can I just like chop off a piece of vine and see if anything happens with a knife?
Well, I'm sorry, you broke up. Chop off with what?
Like chop at a piece of the vine with my knife and see if anything happens.
Sure, yeah. So you take out your knife and chop it to the vine. It bleeds on your knife. So like I said, it feels more like meat than plant. So as you chop into it, it starts to leak this viscous dark blue goo onto your blade. Make a sand check.
All right. I succeeded.
You succeeded. Okay. Yeah. No, it's fucking weird, but it's not, the vine doesn't like recoil or anything.
All right. I'm gonna call Steve's character over so he can make a sand check and get a sample of it.
Well, he doesn't have to make the sand check because you're the one who cut into it. So okay. you test the blue stuff, and it definitely comes back with foreign substance.
Okay, let's go suit up and we'll come back.
All right. So it's a pushing about noon by the time you get the suits and come back.
Should we wait till dark?
That sounds like a horrible idea.
Nobody's
I don't know about that.
Nobody's home. I am also going to stop and buy like a couple of gallons of gasoline.
At least, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's easy
And
enough.
like flares or flashlights or something. Is there
Yeah.
a way we can see if these people have like their utilities turned on or something like that?
Oh, I have 40 points in electrician.
Sure. Yeah. So you could just look at the meter's on. They have electricity.
Maybe like 3 or 4 propane tanks.
Having a really big cookout.
If you buy them all at once, like that's going to be suspicious. If different ones of you go in and buy them at different times, sure. Like if one person goes into the store and is like, "I would like 5 gallons of gas and 3 propane tanks, please," probably just going to call the cops.
Gas and propane get sold at different places, so we'd have to go to at least 2 different stores.
That's true.
Mm. Also, you could probably get like 2 or 3 gallons of gasoline without arousing suspicion. Like,
You can fill a 5-gallon container.
Yeah, I have a ride-on mower.
Yeah. No, like I said, each one individually is fine. But like if you just went and bought them at the same time, that would be weird. But yeah, no. So you get propane and gasoline for your lawnmower and bonfire and cookout. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that
It's gonna be mowing and grilling, mowing and grilling.
It's a good time.
Yeah. So it's about noon by the time are you going back to the house?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it's about noon. You're suited up. What are you gonna do?
We're gonna go in. We're gonna break out hazmat suits and go in here at noon in a neighborhood filled with people.
Yeah, well, we've got a truck that's got like lights on it and stuff. We look kind of official.
Oh, and I'll put a note on the door that says condemned.
I mean,
or on the window. We're going to break the door.
You don't have like an official condemnation sticker.
I didn't say official.
So you just take a piece of paper and write condemned and put it on the door.
Does anyone want to talk to the neighbors?
While we're getting the propane supplies, can we get a bunch of painting supplies?
Yeah, sure.
Like those big, like long sticks with rollers on them, and some paint.
Can somebody talk to the neighbors? Hold on.
Well, I said that I was going to the storage unit and the gas station in Home Depot. So if someone else wants to pick up that one, find out who lives here and how long they've been MIA.
Well, I'm driving to all those places. Suppose I could try and Google it on my phone while we drive? What do I have to roll to not crash and kill us all?
All right, if you're just driving, I'll stay behind and
To drive what? What are we doing?
Driving to the store and the gas
I'll say
station.
you don't need 2 people to go shopping.
Yeah, that's why I asked if I could borrow your keys, so I assumed that I was driving.
Oh. Well, I said it's over there and it's unlocked, so I didn't think you took the keys. I didn't know you were planning to drive it.
I mean, that's typically why one asks to borrow the keys to a car. I was going to go to Home Depot and
So all right, I lent in my keys.
All right.
Okay. So the 3 of you are standing around.
Yeah.
Well,
Is someone
got a cigarette?
talk to the neighbors?
Do any of us have persuade? I have 40.
no, but I'm dressed like a fireman.
Tell him asbestos.
Yeah, you're more official.
Yeah.
If I knock on their door, they're just gonna call the cops.
Yeah, all right. Well, I've got. Also, I'm charming, so there's that. My charisma is 14.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. So you knock on the neighbor's door, and an older man answers. Oh, hello.
Hello, sir. I'm Officer Wake, or no, that's a lie.
Yep.
What do you call a fireman? Fireman?
Yeah, firefighter Wake.
I'm Firefighter Wake. We were investigating your neighbor's house. There was a call of concern. We were wondering. No one seems to be home. Is there anything you could tell us about them?
Oh, why were you looking at what's her name? Bridget's house.
Well, we just got a call for a wellness check. That's all.
Oh, no, I mean, she's been a little busy the past 2 or 3 weeks with her business and hasn't mowed the lawn. I asked her about it, and she said she'd get to it, but
Oh, what's her business?
she's
Oh, she makes honey.
some sort of new age hippie thing. What does she call it? Important oils or something like that. Necessary oils.
Essential oils.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, she gave me one. It's like a peppermint or something like that. It's supposed to.
Did it taste good?
No, it's not. It's not for eating. It's she said like you can put it on there. She gave it to me because I get arthritis sometimes. She said a little drop and rub it into my knuckles would help. I mean, I tried it. It just made me smell like peppermint. But no, she's a nice girl. It used to be her mom's house. Actually, she passed away about a year ago, and Bridget took it. Yeah,
She's been there about a year, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, she grew up around here too. It's nice to have her back. But no, she mentioned she's not home. There's some sort of fair today or something that she was excited to be today. What?
You saw her today?
Well, I saw her yesterday. She mentioned that she was going to be at the summer fair today, selling her essential oils.
Oh, well, where's the fair being held?
Oh, over on Main Street.
Oh, could we walk there?
Well, I mean, you could. It'll take you a while. We're in the burbs here.
Be good if we had a car, huh?
I start dialing for an Uber.
Well, thank you.
Is everything okay with her?
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Is all. So, saw her yesterday. That's a good sign. But gotta make sure nothing's gone awry today. Anyway, thank you for your time. We were discussing, breaking her door down. But if you've seen her recently, we'll go look at the fair first before we do anything drastic.
Oh yeah.
You don't have a phone number for her, do you?
I have the house number. She probably has her cell phone. I don't have that.
Well, we'll take the house number anyway.
Okay, just a second. He walks in. You see, he goes into the kitchen and comes back with his little personal phone book. Flips through it. Oh yeah, here you go, and he gives you the number.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, sir.
Oh no, I hope she's okay.
So do we, of course.
All right, thank you. He closed the door.
All right. Does anyone answer when I try calling that number?
No, if you stand outside, you can hear the phone ring inside the house, but there's no answer.
Okay.
While he's doing that, can I just peek in the windows?
Sure. So what's your search?
70.
7. Oh, okay. So you look through the windows. It's dark. There's no lights on. About half the blinds are drawn. You see in the living room, it looks like there's like Chinese food and pizza containers on the coffee table. You go around. You see in the kitchen, the table again is covered with just like takeout food. You walk around to the side of the house, and it looks like there's a second bedroom that's been converted into some kind of workspace. And on the table in there, you see a whole bunch of glasses and vials. You see a few mortar and pestles and some like Bunsen burner kind of cooking apparatuses.
So no vines, and none of the windows are open or anything, are they?
No.
Okay. All right.
Well, actually, make a luck check.
The one with the vine coming through it should be open.
Oh,
Go
that
back
one
through
is.
that one. Was I going high or low? I didn't call that.
It's up to you. You pick.
Let me roll
before you
again.
roll.
I'm going low. Hey, lucky.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the windows is open, just a crack, but you could jimmy it open more.
All right. Yeah, I'll open it up. Just
All right.
slowly.
It's a window into looks like her bedroom.
I'm gonna. Where is it? I sort of walk back over and grab Steve since he's not doing anything.
No, I'm waiting for my Uber. There's a Vector at Main Street Fair. She's gonna kill a bunch of people at this fair. She's gonna plug in a diffuser, and she's going to be just a walking contamination. And I'm texting Blake, divert to Main Street Fair, potential Vector.
All right, I guess I'm after I'm loading my gas can in the back of the SUV, I'm heading over to Main Street then.
Okay.
Bring gas masks.
Did he get the contamination suits?
Not yet. You guys,
I think you should probably get those before you go to Main Street.
All right.
It's going to be a half hour because that's what you called her. She said we'll have them in the green box in a half hour, and then I'm assuming that Blake left to get the gas on the way to the green box.
Yeah.
So by the time you finish talking to the guy, you've got the gas, but you still have a few more minutes. So you'd probably be getting to the green box when they're getting to the fair.
All right. In that case, I'll just I'm gonna wait and pick up the supplies. I'll just say still en route to pick up supplies. Keep me updated if you need backup.
But yeah, I mean we'll stand by and watch. But sorry, I cut off Richard while he was trying to do something. So was he going to do something at the house before we leave?
I was going to boost you into it.
I don't want to get arrested for breaking and entering before we're able to shut this woman's fair booth down.
I kind of forgot about the whole fair thing.
So let's walk around the fair and find this booth and try not to breathe in anything near it.
Do I maybe have some cheap like smoke masks in my fire truck, van, SUV? Or at least one for me?
He's got oxygen, probably.
Luck.
I would probably. You wouldn't have like a smoke mask. You'd have an oxygen tank.
Cool.
And a mask. For one.
Yeah, all right. Screw you guys. I'm bringing my oxygen mask.
All right. Well, you're the scout then.
You don't have your truck.
Yeah, you don't have your
truck. True. Ryan's got the truck. We're taking an Uber.
Yeah. So your Uber pulls up. There's a Toyota Camry. Dave behind the wheel smiles at you. Oh, hey, are you Rich? No, I'm sorry. Are you DeMarco?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in. I got some little water bottles in the back and a USB charger if you guys need to plug in your phones. Where are we going?
Well, I'm going to plug in my phone.
I already put it in the app, Dave. Just get us to the fair. We don't really need to chat. All right, buddy?
Oh, sure thing.
Oh, man.
So he starts driving. So are you guys from around here?
Yes.
Oh man, that's 4 stars.
Dude, it's a 5-star economy.
Wow. Jeez. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, 3 stars.
He just glares at you and keeps driving. So he gets you there, and he drives away, and you get a notification that you've been rated 2 stars.
I get those all the time. I don't know why they
What does
still
that
pick me up.
mean?
2 stars. What did you write?
I don't know. I gave him 5.
Passengers.
I mean, I just use it as a thread. I wouldn't want to actually hurt
Do
their
you think it's
business.
a problem that I vomited in the back seat?
That's pretty standard. Okay, so he drops you off at the edge of the fair. So it's a street fair. So Main Street's been essentially closed down. You can see there's lots of people walking around, all these different stalls for local businesses. There's like police barricades on the corners, so traffic doesn't drive through. It's 2 full blocks of Main Street that have been shut down. So what are you gonna do?
Are there police standing by the police barricade, or is it just a barricade?
I mean, there's auxiliary police standing by.
Okay, so there's a guy there with radios and stuff.
Yes.
Should we tell him to evacuate?
Should we get him to tell us where her booth is, maybe?
We can do that too.
We can... what could you plug into one of those stupid diffusers that might explode? Her essential oils have been contaminated with gasoline.
I don't know about making bombs, just setting them off.
Oh. Okay.
No, we don't need to get the cops involved. This might get weird.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a better idea. Just
All right, let's just look then.
Yeah, we'll just walk around and find an area that smells nice.
I'll walk up to the
Okay.
first customer.
I hope she hasn't plugged it in yet. Oh,
non-police
God.
guy, and ask them where that booth is, or where there's a map.
You go up to who?
Just some guy that's at the fair that isn't a police officer.
Okay, you just walk over to a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you tell me where the essential oils booth is, or if there's a map?
No, there's no map. You just kind of walk.
Well, all right. Thanks anyway.
You didn't see some woman who said she had an excellent business opportunity for you, that kind of thing? That you could be your own boss, work from home?
Yeah, I did. It was everyone here.
Damn it. It's all a pyramid scheme. This whole fair is a pyramid scheme.
So alertness or search checks.
I'd like to roll search, but I'm not looking for the essential oils yet.
Well,
What do you
I've
look for?
succeeded.
Well, I failed no matter what I was looking for.
I failed. I was looking for someone selling scarves or something.
Oh, no, you didn't find that. It is summer. There's not too much of the way of winter wear for sale.
If we were in Texas, we might be able to buy guns.
Well, no, it's Buffalo. Sorry. So, Mike, you said you succeeded
Yes, normal success.
for search or alertness?
Search.
Okay. It takes you about 20 minutes, but you see a booth for Fleur de Vie essential oils. And you see there's a woman. She looks about 27 or so, sitting behind the little table. She's got like 4 diffusers plugged in with, you can see there's smoke coming out of all of them. And there's like one person who's looking down and smelling one of the infusers.
Oh, too late. We're all dead.
All right. I guess I'll text them and tell them where she's at. Something like that. Or if I can see you guys. You're probably near enough to you guys. I'm just like, there she is, right
I
there.
didn't realize we split up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I text back, are the infusers on?
No, right there. Yeah, they're on. It's fine.
Fine.
I text back, approach and ask if she has any special oils that others might not have.
Is all this stuff just plugged into like an outlet behind her or something like that?
The cords go under the table. That's all you can really see.
But this is like a fair, so I can get behind the.
Yeah, there's the sidewalk behind her.
Yeah, I'll just go back there and just like unplug that crap. Deal with the consequences once I've done that.
So the plug is under her table, so you can see like they go under her table, and she's plugged into something between the booths, and it looks like that cord runs kind of far away. You don't know where it goes exactly.
Follow the cord.
Yeah, I'll just follow the cord. That's cool.
Okay, you follow it for a minute. Chris, you're by the booth still?
Yeah.
Make a sand check.
Cool. 38. That's a well. It doesn't matter if it's current or maximum. That passes.
Okay.
But for future reference, is it current or maximum?
It's current. It's always current, Sam.
Okay.
So you watch as the woman who was leaning over to smell from one of the infusers suddenly. So she had to make a con check, and I gave her a 40, and I rolled a 41. So she failed. She screams a blood-curdling scream as boils start to just appear on her skin and swell, and you watch as bony protrusions explode out of her skin, and you hear cracks as her arms begin to like extend.
Holy shit!
Yeah, she's having a bad day. So
I text Blake. Someone's screaming. I can hear it across the fair.
Yeah, you can hear it. Actually, you're all the way across the fair.
Yeah.
Then you can't hear it.
Oh, okay.
There's music and people talking. You don't hear it. Mike, you can hear it because you're still pretty close. And a whole bunch of people are turning to look. Of course.
So that wire that was being followed under her table. Can I just cut that with my axe? Just swing right down and cut it through?
You'd have to get pretty close to cut the thing with your axe.
Yeah, I have to get with an axe range.
I love that you've been walking around with an axe.
Yeah. I didn't put it back.
Okay. So make a con times 5 check, Chris.
He had the fucking axe in the Uber.
Yeah, I did.
You're like, I'm gonna give you 3 stars, and meanwhile the guy you're riding with is just holding an axe.
So you guys gonna go cut down a tree or something?
All right, con times
2
5.
stars.
Ow. No, I failed.
You failed. Okay, so you bring the axe down on the cord for the diffusers, and there's a spark. The woman who's sitting behind the booth jumps up. What are you doing? She didn't seem to be too fazed by the horrible transformation of the woman happening in front of her. And just as you cut the power to the diffusers, you get this whiff of smoke. It kind of smells good.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop.
It smells it's really hard for you to describe how it smells. But then you take, 10 points of damage.
Points of damage. Oh, okay.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, I got 2 hit points left.
Okay. So good for you. You're
Yeah.
alive for this part. Make a stand check.
Stand check, okay. 88, so no.
Crit failure.
Yeah, no, that's probably a pretty fair roll for this.
So lose 20.
Okay. So I'm down to 25. That's well past my breaking point of 40.
Yeah. So you scream in pain and terror as you feel your bones begin to erupt out through your skin. They crack as your arms and legs begin to extend. And then you fall over because your legs can no longer support your twisting and mutilated body. boils erupt out of your flesh and just grow to monstrous tumescent proportions. Yeah, but you're alive. And you stopped the diffuser.
Yeah,
so
I did.
You're not still being exposed to it.
You're welcome, everyone else.
Yeah.
So,
can I move?
You can writhe.
I'll do that.
Yeah, you do. You also have -20 to everything.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything much but writhe. Maybe beg to be killed.
Richard, you find the end of the cord and yank it out. You hear screams growing over back by the booth where you were.
Oh, I didn't save very many people by doing that.
Do you run back over?
I carefully approach.
All right, make a sand check.
Yeah. That's pass.
That's a pass. You still lose 2.
That's fine.
You see 2 people, or what used to be people. One of them seems to be dead, very similar to the picture you saw earlier. The other one, you see a fire axe embedded in the cheap wooden table where the diffusers are. A person lying on the ground wearing the tattered remains of a blue fire shirt. And you realize that was Casey.
She's writhing.
And screaming in agony.
Yeah, she's screaming, "Please kill me."
What is the other the woman, the college age, or the young woman doing?
Oh, the one who was behind the booth? She's gone.
Yeah. She's gone?
You're paying for these diffusers, damn it!
Do I see her anywhere if I quickly look around?
Make a search check at -20. Not search, I'm sorry, alertness.
That's a success.
You see the
critical
back of her
success.
head.
Critical success. Yeah.
Critical success. Okay. You see her running through the crowd, running away.
I'm a chaser.
Do the screams?
Good luck.
Do the screams of that entire section of the fair start to hit me now?
Yeah. Now you start to notice that something's wrong.
Okay, I'm texting Blake that there's a disturbance at the whatever south, north, whatever end of the fair.
All right.
Yeah. And running in that direction.
Is it time for me to pick up the hazmat stuff yet, or am I still waiting?
Yeah, you've got the hazmat stuff.
All right. In that case, I'm heading toward whatever end of the fair that Dr. Weedman just pointed
make a drive check.
Okay.
Because lots of people in the streets, but you could turn on the sirens.
Does that give me a bonus?
No, it just makes people kind of get out of the way.
All right.
Can Chris's character crawl into the sewer and become next adventure's problem?
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 20 in drive, and if I don't have a bonus, then I rolled a 22. So that's a critical failure.
So I'll give you an option, Ryan.
Okay.
Either you can't get there because the flood of people running away means you can't drive, or you get there, but
I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to run a few people down.
Just one. Just the one person who didn't get out of the way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be stymied by the flow of the crowd because I don't know if Blake is willing to run people over.
Well, no, it wouldn't be on purpose.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, Blake accidentally runs somebody over.
All right, Blake, make a sand check.
Yeah. 38 out of 44.
You run over a blob that is in firefighter clothes.
You take 2 sand because you did just run someone over.
You know what? I can always blame that on Casey because this is her truck, and Casey's a writhing massive tentacles now.
Okay. So what's worse? The person's not dead. You get out. Their leg is very broken, though, and they are screaming in pain, and now begging for someone to help them.
So you kind of assumed that I was stopping there. If
Oh, no, you're just gonna keep going?
yeah.
Make it one of his bonds.
Okay.
If I'm running someone over, I'm getting where I need to go.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, they bounce off the hood of your car. You hear screams from behind you, and you check in your mirror and you see that they're moving. So they're not dead. So that's good, I guess. So you get there. You're close to where all this chaos is. So you grab the hazmat suits, and you run out, and you see there's sort of a clearing around where the booth is. Do you go there?
Well, what's the situation?
How loudly am I screaming? Please kill me. Can you hear it?
There's mass panic. Richard is chasing after the woman. You don't know where he is. DeMarco texted you that stuff was happening and gave you, the side that you should go to. Okay. So DeMarco's probably getting there around the same time you are. There's people running everywhere. There's one booth that seems to be getting a wide berth. And you can see the sign says Fleur de Vie, essential oils. So if you get closer, you'll have to make a sand check.
Yeah, all right.
And DeMarco, you're getting there about this time too, so make a sand check.
That is a 72 out of 42, so no.
DeMarco?
I fail. Critical fail.
Critical fail. All right, so DeMarco, you lose 10.
Okay.
Ryan, you lose 4.
Okay, that's my break point.
Okay.
It's all on you, Mike.
I got this.
So let me pull up them sanities. How are you doing, Steve?
That's not my break point, but it's more than 5, so fight or freeze, right?
Yep.
So what is it? What's causing it?
Casey's writhing, tentacled, boiled form on the ground, screaming for her to be killed.
She's still alive. That's
Please kill me. I'm at least polite still. Politely screaming to be murdered.
One of the sample disorders is intermittent explosive disorder, which just makes me think that every once in a while you just explode.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Possible.
Yeah. Sample disorders from the unnatural. How about we're going to go with agoraphobia, Ryan? Just for now.
That makes sense.
You're out in the open. You're in a crowd. There's people bumping and pushing against you. Yeah.
We're super exposed. We have to get someplace a little more private.
Steve, fight, flight, or freeze?
I think I'm going to go with fight. I'm going to put Casey out of its misery.
Okay.
Nice.
Casey, are you going to try to resist it all?
I'm going to try and writhe into the way.
I'm going to get the fire axe. I'm going to pick up the fire axe.
Okay, so you just grab the fire axe and start chopping at what was once Casey.
Ooh, I start screaming, thank you, instead.
That's so much worse. So you had 2 hit points left?
Yeah.
What was the damage on the axe?
1d10.
So just roll 1d10, Steve.
9.
What'd you say? Sorry.
9.
9. Okay. So the first hit just goes like straight into her head. And you've never hit anyone in the head with an axe before, but you are a doctor, and you thought the human skull was a little less squishy than that. But it just gives way, and then there's Casey no longer has a head, and then you just keep going with the axe, and you don't stop until like you're just panting and exhausted and can't lift the axe anymore. And you also cut up the dead body that was next to Casey.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I also start on the other one.
Oh, yeah. By the time you're done, you're just covered in gore. And there's 2 piles of meat on the ground. Which is when the cops show up.
Fantastic.
I was gonna say I'm leaving Dr. Weedman to that.
Oh yeah, no, you ran away already.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm hopping in the back in the SUV and booking it back toward the house if I can.
Okay, yeah, so you do. So while that's happening, Richard,
Yes.
make an athletics check. Nope, you can't. That's not a thing. No, it is a thing.
What's the
Yeah,
thing?
make an athletics check.
Passed. Regular success.
Regular success. Okay. So she's keeping ahead of you, but you've got her. Like you still see her. You're following her. You're catching up to her. You could tell she looks to be heading for a parking lot. So you can make another athletics check to try to get her again.
Can I make an unarmed check to try to tackle her?
You're not quite close enough. The athletics is to like run and catch up with her.
Okay.
And then
No
you can do that. Yeah.
That is another regular success.
Okay. She failed. So she kind of gets stymied by just the wall of people. So now you can make an unarmed check.
All right. That is a failure.
What did you get?
An 86.
Okay. So you're like right up next to her, and you're about to go like grab her, and she just manages to like slip through 2 people in front of you, and you just kind of wind up hitting some guy in the stomach. And you're like, hey, watch where you're going. So you could try again. You're still close to her, so you could try again.
Yeah, I guess I have no other choice. There we go. Yeah, that's a success.
Okay. Because she knows you're there now. She's going to try to get away, but she rolled a 99, which is a crit failure. So she looks over her shoulder and gives you a look like you're like, I'm going to get away. You can't stop me. And then trips and falls
Nice.
right on her face. And so you just walk up behind her. Like you don't even have to try. Like you just grab her and pick her up.
Yep.
What's your strength?
14.
Yeah. Okay. You're a big guy. So she is not very big. So you could literally just pick her up. What are you doing? Let me go.
What's that thing growing in your basement?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. The thing. It's a flower.
The flower. And what happened to those people back at the fair?
I don't know what you're talking about. They're fine.
They're fine.
The way you said that, it seemed almost like you were believing her. Oh, they're fine.
They're fine.
Oh, excuse me, man.
Cut back to Steve with the axe. Just
How many people have you done that to?
Done what to? I've just been. I make essential oils. It's a miracle cure. It helps with anxiety and depression and all sorts of other things.
Yeah, Casey's not any depressed or upset anymore at all.
It's a miracle cure. Fuck, what do I do with this woman
what's
now
your
that I've got her? What's up?
What is your human at?
Probably 0? 10%?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't read her.
No, man, she's got quite a poker face on her.
Actually, you can make a roll because you can always roll to succeed.
Ugh, yeah. No, 96 out of 10.
You don't know. You can't tell. She's obviously doing this on purpose.
Yeah, well, okay, she's a freaking crazy person. I don't. Now that I've got her, I don't know what to do with her.
Well,
let's cut back to Ryan and see what craziness he's
Weren't you
up to.
saying you were going to strangle someone this game, or was that Steve?
What's that?
Someone before the beginning of the game said they were going to strangle someone from the front to prove it could be done.
Oh,
no, that was Mike.
Yeah, that was me. I don't know about strangling a lady, man.
It's just reminding you what you said you were going to do.
We'll see if she deserves it.
Ryan, you jumped back in the car, and you made your way back to her house.
Okay. I grabbed
Is there a chance that he sees us in the parking lot while this is going on?
If he does, it doesn't matter because he's under the effects of an insanity disorder right now.
He's
even if he did, he's just not thinking.
I gotcha. No, I gotcha.
Just going.
All right, yeah. So I'm putting on a hazmat suit and grabbing a gas can.
Okay.
He's driving on. Gotta tie up the loose ends. Gotta tie up the loose ends.
Basically.
All right. So you suit. The front door's still locked. What are you gonna do?
What's the back door look like?
Also locked, but it's not a heavy door. No, it would be. It's a normal door.
All right.
Wait, how crazy are you? Just drive the car into the front of the house.
I need a little bit of time to work to make sure that I get everything. So I'm gonna go around back and
there's the window open.
Yeah,
there's an open window.
All right, so I'll jimmy the window open and go through, open the back door, and take the gas can, and then just kind of do a quick sweep of the house.
Sure. So it's a 2-story house. Oh no, 1-story house with a basement. Like I said, the rooms are like I described before. It seems like she's just been eating a lot of takeout recently. There's the one room that is her workspace. You can see she's got like a whole bunch of little plastic vials and a whole bunch of stickers that say Fleur de Vie essential oils. And then she's also got like peppermint essence and lavender and vanilla and bergamot and a whole bunch of stuff. You also see she's got a mortar and pestle with the weird flowers inside of it. The petals seem like she's been grinding them up and making essential oils out of them.
Yeah.
The other room is her bedroom. And then you go down into the basement. So it is very much like the outside. The vines have spread along the entire floor and the walls. They have these flowers coming out of them. And in the center of the basement, it's a dirt floor basement. And in the center of the floor is one of those flowers, but it's huge. It's like 3 feet tall and maybe 2 feet wide at the bulb.
All right.
All the vines seem to be coming from it.
So all of this stuff is getting. I'm going to start with the bulb in the center. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pop the cap off the gas can and just like let it have a bunch of it.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to slosh gasoline around the whole basement.
Yeah. Okay. You gas it up.
Same thing with the workspace upstairs. That's getting a little bit of gas as well.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to roll to dump gasoline on things.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna search the. I'll search the because I forgot to get matches. Shit. I'm gonna search the kitchen for some matches.
Yeah, you find a lighter.
All right. And I'm gonna light this shit up. And leave the house rapidly.
Yeah. Okay. So you light it, and there's the as everything goes up, and the basement kind of explodes in flames.
Wait.
but
The smoke from the from the diffuser made people into these blob monsters.
That's what I was just thinking.
Oh God.
well, Ryan's got a hazmat suit on.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna help
squirrels,
anyone
all the-
else.
Well, I mean, Ryan wasn't thinking of that.
And I'm dead, so I don't care either.
So you run out of the house. Where are you going?
I'm gonna make.
You're starting to come down from the worst of your insanity right now and can think rationally.
Okay. I wasn't there to see that the smoke from the diffuser did that, so I'm gonna make sure that the vine at the outside the house gets some.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's burning.
All right. In that case, I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. In the truck, in the SUV.
Yeah, I'll drive it like a fair distance away and then ditch it. And
okay. Then where are you going?
I guess I'll go. I'll find a motel to hole up at for a bit.
Okay.
Paying cash. Give a fake name.
You find a motel, and you sit inside the comforting walls. That's not outside.
Yeah.
So that's good. All right, Mike.
Yeah.
You've got this woman.
Yeah. I try to call both of them, but they don't pick up or something.
Well, yeah, you can't call Casey.
You could.
Yeah. Actually, well, no, her phone probably would have gotten chopped up with all the axe. It goes straight to voicemail.
I saw her die.
No, you saw her get transformed.
Well, I still assume she's busy.
Yeah, she's preoccupied. DeMarco, so just as you run out of steam, a whole bunch of cops run over and draw their guns on you and tell you to freeze.
I would like to.
You're no longer insane. You can think rationally.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll freeze.
Yeah. Drop the axe! Drop the axe!
I'll drop the axe.
All right. One of them runs over to you and kicks you in the back of the knee and drops you down and they handcuff you.
They were vectors. They were contaminant vectors.
The other three are looking at the ground. Jesus fucking Christ! Because first off, horribly violent. Secondly, not human, really. It's a little hard to tell because you've chopped them into many pieces, but it seems like there's more there than there should be for a human.
Wait, so I'm sane now ish? I guess I didn't hit a breaking point.
No, you had like a temporary insanity, which you chose fight. So you're back to as normal as you can be in the situation.
It's just moose meat. It's one of the exotic meat sellers, and we were gonna have a barbecue, so I was butchering it.
Okay. The officer is unconvinced. They still lead you to a car and drive you to the precinct. So Richard, what are you doing?
And I assume Ryan's character didn't pick up either, or he was doing all that stuff. So
yeah.
He was committing arson.
Can I call? Is there like a boss I can call or something like that?
Yeah, you do. Agent Smith is the one, your handler, and you have her number.
Yeah, I'm gonna call her and just be like, "It's Richard. I caught the lady that well, you don't even know the problem, but it's a problem, and I caught the lady. What do I do with her?"
Where's the rest of your team?
I don't know how great this team's doing right now, honestly.
All right,
I might have lost another one. I'm sorry about that.
Is she dangerous?
No, she's a pussycat. But I don't have any. I still need someone to pick her up.
All right. I have a friendly in the local PD. Where are you?
I tell her.
All right. Yeah. All right. Wait there. Wait for Officer McGregor. He'll take her.
The car I'm in gets a call.
Yeah, sure. So you're sitting in the back. There's one cop in the driver's seat. You hear car 2247. This is dispatch. Come in, and yeah, this is car 2247. McGregor here. Like, yeah, we need you to make a pickup. They give you an address, which is not far away. So he's like, all right, sit tight back there, and he drives over. And so from the back seat, Blake, the DeMarco, you see Richard holding a woman, and Richard, you see DeMarco in the backseat of the squad car,
covered in just red.
Oh yeah, just head to toe red.
I don't know that guy.
The Officer McGregor comes over to you. So you're the one with the organization.
Yeah.
And what's the deal with her here?
She's no good. She's some kind of terrorist or something. She needs to get locked up for a minute until we can get this sorted out.
She's like, no, I'm not I'm just making oils to help people.
Yeah, see, terrorist. she's in Greenpeace or something. One of those types.
Right, yeah, I got you. He takes her, spins her around. All right, you have the right to remain silent. He reads her rights, and then puts her in the back of the squad car next to Blake, next to DeMarco.
What's the story with that guy?
As far as we could tell, he may have murdered 2 people. We found him in the middle of the street fair with an axe over 2 horribly mutilated bodies. It's weirdest shit I've ever seen.
Oh, well, I'm sure he'll get what's coming to him.
If there's any justice, he will.
Is there a death penalty in New York?
Technically, yes. It's never enforced.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's only for murder 1 cases.
Well, I hope they give him the chair.
Oh, disappointed.
I look over at the new woman in my car and I say, "So what do you do?"
She's like, nothing. I was only helping people.
Oh yeah, me too. How do you help people?
All right, so that's right. So the car drives off.
If she says anything about essential oils, I'm going to murder her.
But you are handcuffed.
I can use my head.
Oh.
She doesn't mention essential oils.
You could find out if you could strangle someone from the front.
From the front, from behind.
Without hands, yeah. About an hour later, Blake, you get a call from Agent Smith asking for your situation and where you are and what's going on.
All right. I will give her the lowdown on what happened. We found whatever the contaminated plant was, and I, as far as I know, have contained the situation.
All
or
right.
maybe made it even worse.
What?
Well, depending on whether or not people breathe that smoke, the source of the contamination is definitely gone.
So she tells you and Richard too to rendezvous back at the office park. So after action, there are no other cases. The oil from the plant couldn't really be ingested through smoke.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, you didn't create an army of mutated people like that.
Maybe next time.
I mean, they're not much of an army if all they do is writhe and beg to be killed.
Every time the cop in the front seat says anything, I say 4 stars. 3 stars.
Casey's is dead. The organization is going to work on getting Richard out of jail.
I'm not in jail.
Be tough. I'm not Richard. I'm sorry, Blake. DeMarco. I keep mixing up everyone's names. I don't know why. They're going to work to try to get DeMarco out of custody. It's going to be
this
tough.
moose meat?
Well, they do a DNA test.
The agency doesn't come in and sweep up that thing so that the locals won't find like
That's
these
true.
horribly mutilated things.
Yeah, you're right. It's moose meat. So I mean, this is just a few hours later. So they're working on getting you out. You told them it was moose meat. They're going to roll with that, and just take possession of the bodies. I'm sorry, the moose meat. So 2
Just
days
trying to
later,
set up a local business, exotic meat. I thought it would be interesting.
2 days later, Richard, you're out and released.
DeMarco.
God, damn it! I'm sorry, Richard. You're fine. You were never arrested.
2 days later, Richard, you die of an overdose of heroin on the streets.
Hey man, it's tough out there.
Because the agency continues to allow you to be homeless despite these horrible missions they send you on.
Well, this is my thing, man.
Yeah.
Someone's got to defend the streets.
That's fair.
And I mean, he survived the best out of everyone.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
I was gonna
he's
say
pro.
he kept it together, and now I understand why he stopped for wine at the beginning.
That's the trick.
Well,
Okay, so that was Fleur de Vie.
It ends on Richard going into the liquor store and getting another small flask of cheap wine.
No. It ends with Richard. Richard goes into the liquor store to get a small flask of cheap wine, and as he's checking out, there's a little vials of essential oils on the counter, and he just like glares at them, pays for his thing, and just like pushes them off the counter and walks out.
Yep, that's what happened.
All right. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What was Bridget's deal? Like, was she like under the influence of something, or
She was
was
under the influence of the flower. So
Okay.
it only grew in the basement of her parents' house, and she inherited it when they died. And she had an essential oil business, and she was like, "Oh, I'll make this flower," but she kind of got infected by it, and so the flower wanted to spread, so to speak, and mutate people. So it was sort of influencing her to make this essential oil and then sell it to infect people so that they would die and mutate. But so she really did think that she was helping people. Like, she was under the influence of it and didn't really realize that it was terrible. She literally thought that she had like this miracle cure for anxiety and depression.
Well, I'm glad that I did not accidentally turn half of the neighborhood into like wriggling human starfish.
Yeah, no, the oil or the pollen. So what happened was I added the bees, but basically the bees got the pollen and made it into honey, and there was enough concentration in the one that that person ate in the beginning that they mutated and died horribly. Yeah, and then you follow the bees to the thing. The rest of it is what it was. Yeah.
Cool.
The other thing I changed is that it was set at a Christmas fair, but I really wanted to do the bee thing, and I realized that wouldn't really work in Christmas, so I set it to summer.
I thought that was a cool twist. Like we're all like hanging around the house, and then the neighbor goes, "Oh yeah, she's selling her essential oils at the fair," and everybody's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
That actually flew right over my head, and I was just like, "Oh, that's super convenient. Let's tear this house down."
Yeah. She's not going to be here. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Wait, so in the original shotgun scenario, was it just essential oils that killed the person?
Yeah, it was just, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like the idea
added
of having the honey be the thing, because otherwise it's kind of a little, straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, originally it was like the same thing, the same opening with the dead woman mutated, but she had the essential oil there, and so it was just if you go to her house during the day, she's at the fair. If you go to her house at night, she's asleep. Don't let them go at night.
Yeah.
I like the apiary because it was like we didn't hurt those nice women. Like that could have gone sideways real quick with a couple bad rolls and automatically assuming that they're up to no good.
I mean, Steve did tell the CDC that their honey was contaminated with salmonella. So
I mean, it depends on your definition of hurting those nice women.
I mean, they could start
physically.
Yeah, they'll rebrand.
Just economically.
They'll bounce back, hopefully. Maybe
They've got insurance for this sort of thing.
Yeah, sure they do.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Great. I'm gonna cut. Anyone have any last Will thoughts?
Oh shit! I had something last time.